Welcome back. It's 6:15. As we just learned in that NBC special report before the break, at least 12 people have been recovered from that tragic mid-air plane collision in Washington, D.C. An American Airlines flight collided with an Army Black Hawk helicopter and it went crashing into the Potomac River afterwards.
Yeah, fatalities have been confirmed. Rescuers have not yet pulled any survivors from the water. We know that American Airlines has canceled 8 flights. That includes flights from D.C. and from D.C. to Indianapolis International Airport, 4 from Indy to D.C. and 4 arriving in Indy from D.C. Now, we are also learning that several members of the U.S. figure skating team were on the plane. That includes a pair of world champion Russian figure skaters who are now coaches. Of course, that's according to the Russian state media. Coming up at 6:30, our Anna Chalker is going to join us in the newsroom to bring us more updates on this investigation.
So we know 64 people were on board the plane, 60 passengers, 4 crew members, and 3 people were on board that helicopter for that Army training mission.
Well, this morning we are getting new details from state police released about a deadly police shooting along I-69 in Pendleton.
So police say that this started with a call about a man that was walking along the interstate. But when officers responded, they say that things escalated quickly. This is along I-69 near State Road 38 in Madison County.
State police say the officers with the Pendleton Police Department and Madison County Sheriff's Office approached the man to help when he pulled a knife from his jacket pocket. Investigators say police told him to drop the knife repeatedly.
Well, state police tell us that that man refused and aggressively advanced towards the officers. A Madison County Sheriff's deputy deployed a taser but says it did not work. And after that, state police tell us the Pendleton police officer pulled his gun and shot the man.
The actions from this individual is caused the response from the officers to have to draw their weapon and defend themselves. So again, it seems lately that individuals are causing officers to have to respond using lethal force.
The man later died at the hospital. The Pendleton officer involved in the shooting has been placed on paid administrative leave while they investigate.
This morning, we're hearing from Indiana legislators after Governor Mike Braun's State of the State address last night.
The governor touched on an array of topics, including lowering property taxes. He also talked about immigration and universal school choice. During that address, Governor Braun says he's pulling back the curtain on health care prices and making them more affordable.
He says that also includes audits to find waste and abuse in the state's own health care spending. This is the Democrats' response to his plan.
Governor Braun talks about lowering healthcare costs, but at the same time is threatening to take away the healthcare coverage that 1 in 3 Hoosiers rely on. I'm talking about Hoosier Care Connect, HIP, Hoosier Healthwise, and all vital healthcare coverage under Indiana's Medicaid program.
Well, Senate Republicans have a bill that would cut how much Indiana spends on Medicaid by putting caps on who would be eligible for coverage.
It is 6:18. I see the radar over in the corner, Chuck. That's what we're keeping an eye on this morning. But as long as we're not talking about the frozen kind of rain,
well, yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I mean, this is January, and we're not talking about 10 inches of snow. We're talking about maybe an inch of rain, and that would equate to about 10 inches of snow if this were that time of year. And it is that time of year. It's just warm compared to what it should be. Well, let's take a look at the radar this morning. 6:18, if you just got up, here's what we're looking at now on live Doppler 13 radar. This is a line of rain that's moving now from St. Louis all the way down to Carbondale and Cape Girardeau, Illinois, or Cape Girardeau, Missouri. That's a look at it right now. And you'll also notice that this stretches from the Mississippi River all the way into Texas. So there is a lot of rain. The leading edge of this now, Carbondale, St. Louis, Chester, Illinois, the home of Popeye. That's where Popeye was invented. And then all the way down into Dallas. Now, this line of rain is going to provide us with quite a bit of rain, actually. We're going to talk more about this in a bit, but we're expecting about an inch of rain to the south. So warming to the 40s and 50s the next few days. That's the good news. But again, with the rain moving in this afternoon, many of you will see more than an inch of rain total. This is look at some of the temperatures. 30 in Indy, 27 Bedford, and in Lafayette. It's nearly freezing in Greencastle and 32 in Muncie this morning. As we go through the day, your most valuable accessory, and this will be later on today, will be an umbrella. And believe it or not, January, and you'll need an umbrella, not a snow shovel. 47 is going to be our high. We are not expecting severe weather out of this, but we are expecting real heavy downpours. I wouldn't be surprised if you hear a little roar of thunder in our southern counties, but again, most of the severe weather aspect of this would be well to our south. So here's what we're looking at, about 87/100ths of an inch. That would be the total for this. 2.1 in Louisville, and those of you in our southern counties, maybe 1.5 inches. So let's walk you through what the next few hours will look like. This is 2:30 this afternoon. At that point, we are completely covered with rain and some of the heavy stuff down around Bloomington. As we go into the evening rush hour and then out of the evening rush hour at 6:30, the entire state getting wet with this line of heavy rain. I would say primarily on a line from Franklin in Johnson County on south. That's where the heavy rain will fall at that point. Now let's take you to 9 p.m. Still raining. And how about this? Another wave of heavy rain after midnight. And I think this could stick around for some time. In fact, we go on the air at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning with sunrise on your Friday. We'll probably have rain still showing up on radar. And I'm not ruling that out later on in the day. So let's serve up the forecast for you here at the breakfast hour. 48 degrees today for a high with the rain. More rain continuing tomorrow, though not as much, 54. Saturday and Sunday look pretty good. In fact, Sunday up to 56 degrees. And then as we move into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we still keep it in the 40s and 50s. Now, coming up in about 20 to 24 minutes, we're going to talk about the weather situation for Washington last night when that tragic crash occurred. In the meantime, time for traffic. And Matt, it looks like we have another problem to the north of Indianapolis.
Yes, I-65 northbound lanes just past the Whitestown Parkway exit, east 550 south. That is one of the roads that's just past Whitestown. And we have a lot of distribution centers, and that's where we have a crash. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit closer. You can see the red there on the map with the big slowdown. That does encompass the Whitestown Parkway exit there. But let's take you to what it looks like with some of these NDOT cameras. This is at east 550 south. So you're looking south. Those headlights are headed northbound. Crews are responding there right at the entrance there for the exit ramp. But folks are still, sometimes I have seen a car be able to still get off there, but you got to go slow and you got to wrap around. But this is causing a pretty big backup. This is what it looks like at Whitestown Parkway. Big slowdown. We're back in 2.